It is day 7 of trying to lose 25 pounds before the end of the year. And my tip of the day is to try to eat 30 grams of protein with each meal and try to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I know that's sometimes hard and you think restricting is gonna make you lose more weight, but actually having breakfast, lunch, and dinner and having 30 grams of protein is gonna make you lose more weight than anything else.
Welcome back to the channel. Be honest. How many times have you told yourself you'll start eating better or exercising after the holidays? It's such a common trap. But why wait when you could already be feeling your best before the new year even starts? Let's dive into today's video.
You're going to lose the weight. You're going to be just fine. I've lost 80 pounds and let me tell you this. You can drive miles and miles and miles and miles and miles, hundreds of thousands of miles in the wrong direction. You can turn around, baby. You can turn it around. The reason that so many people do not make the change and really, truly, truly start their weight loss journey is because they feel like they're too far gone. And I'm here to tell you, as somebody who's lost a substantial amount of weight and has gained weight and lost weight in the whole shebang, just like everybody else, you can lose the weight. You can turn it around. There is no amount of damage that you have done that is just so far gone, you can't get to your dream body, you can't reach your goals. No. I don't care if you've been heavier your whole life or you've been in a body your whole life that you absolutely despise. It does not always have to be like that. You have to turn it around. Turn the car around. Turn it around. Right now, you're angry with yourself, so you keep driving in the same direction. You're like, I'm angry. There's nothing I can do. You're loathing. You need to realize that you are in 100% control of your body and what you want in this life. Turn it around and know that you will reach the destination that you want to. You just got to switch things up, okay? Switch it up.
And if you're prone to misunderstanding people, this video is not for you. This video is for my girlies who want to lose weight and they want some helpful, healthy tips from someone who's done it before. This might be controversial, but hear me out. You ate 2,000 calories today. You're not starving. It's okay to be a little hungry. For me and my journey, I had to get comfortable with my hunger, and I had to know that just because I'm a little hungry doesn't mean I'm gonna starve. One thing that really held me back on my weight loss journey is being afraid to be hungry. I thought that if I was hungry, I was gonna enter starvation mode, and then my body was gonna hold on to fat, and then I'd never lose weight. So I would never let myself be hungry. If I was hungry, I was like, something's wrong. I gotta eat. And that's just not the case. It takes more than just a little hunger for your body to enter starvation mode. And I think not being afraid of my hunger was pivotal in me being able to actually achieve a calorie deficit. I need to make this clear. I am not saying starve yourself, but I'm saying if you're gonna try to lose weight, the only way to lose weight is being in a calorie deficit, you're gonna feel a little hunger, especially as your body adjusts to eating less. But what we do with that hunger is very important. So before, I would get hungry and I'd be like, oh my God, something's wrong, I need to eat. Now I use hunger to just understand what my body needs more. So if I try a new breakfast and then I'm hungry 2 hours later, I'm like, wait, okay, maybe that breakfast wasn't the one that's gonna satiate me. Sometimes you don't need to eat more food, you just need to eat different foods. Building your meals around protein will have you being fuller for longer. Now, instead of being afraid of hunger, I just use hunger as a tool to refine what I eat. And figuring out your calorie deficit, it's important not to overdo it. If your body's used to eating 4,000 calories, maybe don't drop down to 1,200. That's why I always recommend just tracking your calories for at least 2 weeks, not trying to hit any goals, just track it, just see where you're at, then start moving a little back. Important to state, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian, I'm just a girl who lost 40 pounds by changing her mindset and her habits.
I've lost 35 pounds in the last 4.5 months, taking me from this to this. And I'm gonna share with you exactly how I did it. Tip number 1 is to get your steps in. They call it a hot mom walk, a hot girl walk for a reason. You get out there, you get those steps in, 10,000 steps a day, and you are going to see the weight melt off of you. Along with getting those steps in, move your body. Find some form of exercise that you enjoy doing. For me personally, it's bar. I'm a huge fan of how small the weights are, how small the movements are for the most impact. I feel stronger than I've ever felt my whole entire life. I am 100% bar's biggest fan. Tip number 2 is portion control. So not overindulging. I eat my meals on a salad plate so that I don't feel miserable after every single meal. Eating higher protein too is going to keep you fuller and more satisfied for longer periods. And then tip number 3 is your water intake. I goal myself at 64 ounces a day, and I know that seems very excessive in the beginning. Once you get used to it, you can do it. Keeping your water intake up is so good for so many reasons. It's keeping your skin clear, it's keeping things nice and flowing, it's going to act as an appetite suppressant as well, which is ideal because it keeps you fuller longer. And at this point in my life, I can confidently say that I am the happiest and the healthiest and the strongest I've ever been. As a mom to girls especially, that is the most fulfilling and the most rewarding, and truthfully what keeps me going. And I promise if you stick to it and keep on grinding, you will see results too.
You're obsessed with losing weight, and that's why you're not losing any weight. When you're obsessed with losing weight, you don't care how you lose the weight. You just want the scale to drop, which means that you are losing weight in an unsustainable way, hence why you always gain the weight back, okay? You are never going to reach your weight loss goals by being completely obsessed with weight loss. You have to understand the difference between being obsessive and doing something for your body and doing something that is going to nurture and love it. When you are obsessed with weight loss, you degrade yourself. You degrade yourself. You starve yourself out. You do an excessive amount of exercise. It's not sustainable. You're not going to keep doing it. Hence why you stop losing weight. Once you realize that I'm making weight loss an actual priority and I'm not obsessing over it, but I'm making it a priority in my life, you will lose the weight because you will start to do things in a sustainable way. Okay, you will start eating in a calorie deficit that suits your body. You're not going to stoop down to 1,000 calories a day. No wonder why you're not losing any weight, because you eat 1,000 to 1,200 calories every single day, and then but one day you just say, fuck it, I'm extremely hungry, and you go overboard and you gain weight. Hence why, again, you never lost the weight. Okay, start having realistic expectations of yourself, and the weight will fall off.
Unpopular opinion, but the one thing that actually helped me lose 15 kg was not a quick fad diet. It wasn't about walking more or getting more steps in. I actually started eating enough for my age, for my weight, for my height. I went from eating 1,300 to 1,400 calories to 1,700 to 1,800 to 2,000 calories a day. I hit my protein goal. I drank my water. I went for beach swims. I woke up in the morning. I said good morning to the sun. I thank God for my day. And I started my day with a calm, safe nervous system and body. And this is what the health gurus online won't tell you. Your constant need to change your body, to lose weight, to hustle into a different fucking life, living like a man, is the reason why you are fat and unhealthy and unhappy. And people don't talk about this because we don't want to ruffle feathers and hurt people, but it's my job to tell you the fucking truth so you don't have to repeat the same pain and patterns that I was in for like 5 fucking years. So if you really actually want to lose inflammation in your body, right, not just drop numbers on the scale, you need to start living like a woman. You need to start slowing down. You need to start honoring your needs. You need to start tuning into your fucking body and asking it, what do I need? Because hear me when I say this and hold me with the highest regard. The ultra-processed protein and sugar, low-carb, low-fat diet that you're on right now is not the thing that your body is asking for. Your body is asking for more sunlight, more gentle movement, stretching, actual food that fucking fuels you, not some highly processed, ultra-processed fucking shit that makes your stomach gurgle and keeps you constipated. Said with so much love, speaking from my experience, because I've been there and I don't want you to have to stay there just like I was.
Here's the truth. Waiting for the perfect time only delays your progress. There's no magic switch that flips in January. The habits you start now are the ones that will carry you into the new year stronger, healthier, and more confident. Even small changes, a 20-minute walk, drinking more water, and moving your body can completely shift your energy and mindset.
The exact steps I would take if I wanted to lose 15 or more pounds before Christmas. These are the exact steps I would take. These are the exact steps I would walk all of my clients through. And when I say 15 pounds down before Christmas, this isn't just like aggressive weight loss. This is sustainable weight loss. So not only are we losing 15 pounds before Christmas, we're gonna maintain this 15 pounds through Christmas so we never have to look at this 15 pounds or feel this 15 pounds on our body ever fucking again. Because I just don't do weight loss. I do weight loss for the last time. So let's get into it. All right, caveat, this only works when you follow the steps in order. It also only works when you follow the steps honestly. Okay, cool. Both agreement there. Number 1, trial tracking for 7 days. You are not changing your eating patterns for the next 7 days. You're fighting every urge in your body to try to clean it up. You're gonna get really motherfucking honest with yourself. Download a food tracking app, MyFitnessPal, lose it, Chronometer, I don't give a fuck which one. Download a food tracking app. Everything you put in your mouth, log it. Log it in that app and get an idea for how much you actually been eating. It's important to figure it out. If you're not using a food scale while you're doing this, your data's gonna be a little inaccurate, so guess high. Meaning if you're like, that was only 1 serving of chips, log it as 2 servings of chips, because I promise you, you would be so motherfucking humbled if you started to use a food scale. Would I love for you to start using a food scale at the same time you're trial tracking? Yes. But if you're not quite there yet, that's okay. Just again, overestimate your portions, because I know it sounds crazy, but you're eating more than you think you are. After that 1 week of trial tracking, we're gonna understand how much we've actually been consuming over the course of 7 days, okay? Now, everyone changes something somewhere. So again, if you get a number back and you're like, oh, it's only 2,000, you should probably estimate that without that awareness, you are probably eating closer to 23 or 2,400 calories per day on average. Not every day, just on average. So after that 1 week of trial tracking, we're gonna move into a 2-week phase at our current body's maintenance calories. I know, because this is where everyone's like, I don't wanna do that. I'm gonna skip past that step. Okay, you can skip it, but that's gonna cause your calorie deficit to be less predictable, and it's going to prevent you from being able to actually ensure weight maintenance happens after you lose this weight. So if that's a risk you wanna take, go for it. Not a risk I'm willing to take with any of my clients though, because again, I don't give a fuck about your weight loss if I can't teach you how to keep it off forever. So 2 weeks, I'm gonna figure out what my body's maintenance calories are. TDEcalculator.net does a great example. 2 weeks, eating at our current body's maintenance calories. And I know, you're like, what? Why? Because I want you to do a couple things. Number one, I want you to practice hitting targets. At this point, I want you to get a food scale because I want you weighing, measuring, and practicing tracking, as well as practice tracking and hitting targets. You're hitting a calorie target, and I want you to set a protein target. Take your goal weight in pounds, times it by 0.7 or 0.8, and let's go ahead and practice for 2 weeks, hitting not only our daily calories, but our daily protein, and get really fucking good at that first. While we're practicing those things, and we're practicing using a food scale, we're also then going to start to do some other basic things. We're gonna build some food structure. We're gonna build some food predictability. We're going to actually make sure we're eating meals, not just endlessly snacking all day. We're gonna also start to identify where are we really struggling with nutrition as it is. And so if you're like, God, I really struggle with overconsumption in the evening, well then we wanna target that problem in this 2-week maintenance phase and build a game plan around it. So if you always find yourself overeating in the evening, we can either build some snacks into our evening routine, because maybe you just like to eat before you go to bed, or we could also look at, or am I eating enough, right? Am I eating enough at dinner? Do I need to increase that meal? So during this 2-week maintenance phase, it's a great time to understand where are your barriers and your roadblocks, and how can you heal them now with enough food availability to do that. That way you have those problems solved before you enter a deficit. This is why I said skipping this step ensures that that deficit's probably gonna be far less successful. And we don't have time to fuck around. We want that deficit to be as successful as hell. So that's why we're taking 2 weeks, tracking at our maintenance calories and getting really fucking good at this basic boring bullshit first. When we're setting up that deficit, we have to understand that consistency is required. If we aren't consistent, we can't expect to see results. So we are going to make sure we're being 80% consistent with our calorie deficit for the next 12 to 16 weeks. 80% consistency means what? You are nailing that calorie deficit most of the time, not all the time. Sometimes you're gonna fuck up, and that's a part of life. Embrace it, okay? Now we're gonna move to the last part of our journey, which is freedom. We're not just gonna stop, because this is where we get it wrong. Calorie deficit done. Well, now you're gonna end up eating more than normal because you haven't practiced eating at maintenance yet. So now we're gonna use the holiday season to practice eating at maintenance. We're gonna bring our calories up to our new body's maintenance calories. We lost 15 pounds in that 12-week time frame. We are 15 pounds lighter. We require less energy than we did before when we first walked in with our maintenance calories. So we're gonna run a new maintenance number for ourselves, and we're going to start to eat at that higher amount. You can do that quickly. You can go right from the deficit right to maintenance overnight, no worries. You can do that a little bit slower, but it is the holidays, and so it tends to be a little bit easier to make that more aggressive calorie jump, because there is just a little bit more happening. There's more get-togethers, there's more food, there's more everything. So we can embrace it a little bit quicker that way. I don't expect you to track every single day at maintenance through the holiday season. There's going to be a ton of days that I suggest you take untracked, right? Our big ones, if we're being obvious, things like Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and New Year's Eve and New Year's Day and all of that kind of stuff. But there might be others thrown in there as well, work parties, family get-togethers that just seem a little bit too complex to track. That's fine. But I do want you to spend some time tracking at maintenance, because what this really helps us understand is what is my food going to look like day to day at my maintenance calories, so that way I can ensure that I stay weight regulated. Because again, maintenance still requires mindfulness in some way, shape, or form. We can't just stop worrying about food altogether and expect ourselves to just learn how to balance things at maintenance. We're going to have to learn what balancing food at maintenance actually looks like. Once we get good at that and we feel very confident that we can effortlessly eat at maintenance like the back of our hand, then we start to add more and more intuitive eating days into practice. But what I love to use the holidays for, specifically when I'm taking a client through that last phase, which is freedom, is practicing maintenance when we can, but I'm also then teaching them how to practice intuitive eating during this time as well. So I'm really killing 2 birds with 1 stone. In my opinion, this is arguably one of the best times of the year for so many women to enter into a fat loss phase.
So don't wait for next year. Start becoming the person you want to be today. If this video inspired you, give it a thumbs up. Comment "I'm starting now" below and subscribe for more motivation to keep you going. Your future self is already thanking you for taking that first step.